Alright, g'day there. Richard Musgrave-Evans here again, and welcome back. Now today, I'm back down the Darling River, but this time I'm going to throw an easel over my shoulder and walk in rather than taking the mobile studio trailer. Now I'll be painting on a smaller scale, but at the same time I'm still going to be using the large palette knives, which makes for a very interesting type of effect, using the same big knives but on a smaller scale picture. Alright, this should be interesting. Let's get into it. Alright, g'day there. Richard Musgrave-Evans here again, and welcome back. Now today, I'm back on the Darling River, just painting a nice little one. I've walked in today instead of using the car, so I've walked in with the mobile little easel and just a small canvas, small palette knife, well actually large palette knife, but small palette, so I can carry it in. Alright, so I've already just blocked in a few darks just to get me started. Just wanted to be a quick one, just want to get into it. Right, let's get the biggest differences down straight away before it changes. Cobalt blue, bit of magenta. There's just some really nice shadows here. I'm just going to put them in really straight and blue at the moment, and I'll alter it a bit as I go. Just get that blue on. Now I'll use a bit of yellow ochre, Viridian green and burnt sienna, mixed with a tiny bit of white, just to introduce some of the actual tone of the water itself, or colour, instead of just the atmospheric shadow. Just need to mix that into the shadows. Some beautiful long shadows at the moment, so get them in before they change too much. I'll probably do that. Right. Stand back and have a look, see what's going on. Okay, first thing I'll do is get some of that, well, the next thing I'll do is get some of that sky. I'll go for the slightly smaller knife. Now I'll just mix up a blue and yellow ochre and white here. This makes it a slight green blue. There's not a lot of room to be working on this palette, which is not what I'm used to, as you know, but that doesn't matter. Just grab a bit of paper towel. Just over here. Now I'm going to knock up a bit of an atmospheric colour with yellow ochre and burnt sienna and white, just over here. Just half mix that into that to give me the low, hazy bottom of the sky. Now just get this in as quickly as we can. We don't want to muck around about it too much today. A bit more blue as it goes up. Right, a little bit more blue and white as she goes up. Another lovely day down the river. Just blending those tones a bit together. Okay, blue, white, a little bit of magenta now as it gets higher into the sky. Okay. Let's get them in, try not to touch the trees too much yet because that'll intermix with the lovely blue sky and cause a bit of mud, so just laying it on for now. If I do have to go into the gaps, I only pull once before I get a new lot on the knife. Wipe the knife clean, blue, magenta, white, blue, darker. There we go, out, let's have a look. Just get that edge along the top there. There we go. Okay, so we've got a bit of that going on. Now, before we go any further, get a little bit bigger knife, eh? There we go, that knife. You all know the one, okay. Tiny bit of burnt sienna, mixed with the yellow ochre. Getting that reflective quality of the sandbank on the other side. Yellow ochre, viridian green, bit of that sky blue, bit of burnt sienna. I'm mixing up the watercolour now. Itself, quite a warm tone. Let's have a look. A bit more burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Now we can really start cranking it on once we work out what we want. Just get the coverage. Colour in the edges here. A little bit of sky blue mixed with it. Right. Mixing up more of that sky blue. There's a lot of sky blue reflecting. Here and there. Stand back and have a look, eh? Grab a bit of paper towel while I'm at it. There we go. Okay. Back into it, back into it. Got the white, yellow ochre, burnt sienna. Maybe a twang of alizarin crimson. More burnt sienna. Just looking for a minute, trying to work out what I want to do here. I'll stand back and have a look, get the angles right. Paper towel, paper towel. Bit of burnt sienna, Viridian green, yellow ochre, making it more of that shadow type of colour of the trees themselves. Also, while I'm at it, slightly put the light source colour in as well. And magenta in the sky blue, mixes that. Because it's receding back there, it's just going back a bit. We're losing some of the intensity of colour there. Okay, now just draw in some of these lovely trunks and whatever. Cad yellow deep and white. Ultramarine blue, magenta, just going to reinforce some of these shadows that the trees are casting. Go through. Get that shadow going the way I want it to go. Alright, stand back and have a look, eh? With a clean knife, just going to lightly pull through to soften where the foliage, always wiping clean, soften where the foliage is meeting the sky. You need plenty of paper towel for that job. So what that does, it really starts to pull the painting together and soften, refine and finish a lot of things, give the illusion of finish. Vary the marks all different ways. Clean the knife each time. Alright, see what we've got there. Getting there. Right, I'll add a little bit more. This bank reflecting colour here. Just get it in first on the edge there. Just pulling it through. Okay. More paper towel, there's always so much to do, even on a little painting, particularly a little painting, when you're doing massive palette knives on such a small painting. It's incredibly detailed then because these knives are so blinking big. A little bit bluer than that. Just painting the reflection of these trees. That's more what their colour is. concentrate on what I'm doing here. Pull that across a little bit. Now just wobble it a bit, so it's giving that feeling of trees reflecting down into the water. Bigger knife again. Always moving around, always moving around. Those shadows are really beautiful. And they're really there, so I'm going to stick them in. Okay, let's have a look at what we got, eh? Getting there. Gentle and blue, white. What a lovely day. Listen to those birds. They are absolutely loving it. There we go, there we go. Drawing in some of the branches, a knife on edge. More yellow. Clean it up a bit. Sienna yellow ochre. Another warm one today. It's autumn at the moment here in Australia, but still hasn't really cooled down. There's plenty of heat out here in the back country. Softening a few shadows as I'm putting them in by pulling through with the knife. Okay, what are we up to now? Keep on emphasising draftsmanship in branches. Stand back from me and have a look. Alright, so what do we got? Let's have a look. Getting there, getting there. Grab a little knife. Right. Just getting some draftsmanship of those trees correct, more correct. The colour, shapes and tones are what I want. Okay. Just got to feel it. I'll stand back and have a look. Getting there, we're getting there. Some really nice dead twigs and sticks all over the place here. Mix up various greys and whatever for that. Okay. Let's carefully put some of those in. Bit of magenta, Viridian green. Mixing up some of the distant trees that are right back there. Alright, so we're getting there now. Some pure white. What was that in the water? Pure white. Cad yellow deep. Just a couple of these areas. Just where the sticks are smacking around on the water's edge there. Let's have a look at that. Alright, what have we got here? Bit of yellow ochre, burnt sienna, Viridian green. Just put some of somewhere where the foliage is reflecting. It's building up the subtleties in that water, getting the reflections. There's some subtle tones of shadows, reflections, warm and cool, there's all sorts of stuff. Just lighten the tone here a bit. Yellow ochre, cad yellow light. Let's just have a look at that. Right, well, that is about it. what I'll do is I'll get that camera off so you can have a closer look at what we're seeing here, and we'll take it from there. All right, no worries. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done it. Cool. Okay. Thumbs up and the works and jerks, you know it all.